All right, let's dive in. Today we're talking about automation, especially if you're someone who wants to make your digital life way easier but has no idea where to even begin. We're going to explore how you can build your very own digital assistant and get this without writing a single line of code.
Now, really, just think about that for a second. What if you had a personal assistant that never sleeps, never complains, and just handles all the most mind-numbing digital tasks for you? That's not science fiction anymore. That's exactly what we're digging into today with a tool that makes it all surprisingly simple. But first, we need to talk about the problem, a problem I'm pretty sure you know all too well. I like to call it the digital hamster wheel.
I mean, does this sound familiar? You're shuffling data from a spreadsheet over to an email, then updating your CRM, then sending the same notification for the 100th time. It's that digital busy work, you know? The stuff that feels productive, but when you look back at your day, you realize you haven't actually moved the needle on anything important.
And this kind of work is so much more than just the time sink. It is a one-way ticket to burnout, and maybe even worse, it's a breeding ground for human error. You know it, I know it, one wrong copy-paste can cause a massive headache. There's got to be a better way, right?
Well, of course there is. And that brings us to the main event, workflow automation. And the star of our show today, a really cool tool called N8N.
So, what even is workflow automation? At its heart, it's basically just teaching a computer to follow a series of steps all by itself. The goal is super simple: boost your efficiency, get rid of those costly mistakes, and free you up to do the more strategic, creative stuff. You know, the fun parts of your job. And this is N8N. You pronounce it N8N. It's this awesome platform that lets you literally see the automations you're building. Best of all, it's super flexible, and it really puts you in the driver's seat of your own processes. Now, the most fundamental building blocks inside NN are called nodes. Honestly, the absolute best way to think about them is like digital Lego bricks. Each little brick is an app you already use, like Gmail or Slack, or it's a specific action like send a message or add a row to a spreadsheet. So you're not writing code. Instead, you're just dragging, dropping, and connecting these nodes together on a canvas. You're basically drawing a map that tells your new robot assistant exactly what to do step by step. And every single workflow you build, big or small, has two basic parts. First, you've got a trigger. Think of this like the starting gun. It's the one event that kicks the whole process off. It could be a new email, a filled-out form, or just a specific time, like every Monday at 9 a.m. Then you have the actions. That's the domino effect, the sequence of tasks that happens right after the trigger. And this just shows you what that looks like in the end. When you connect all those little nodes, you get this beautiful, clear map of your entire process. I mean, look at this example. It's an employee onboarding workflow. So when a new hire signs up, it can automatically create their email, add them to all the right channels, and send out welcome docs. All of it completely hands-free. But, just connecting apps together is only the beginning. The real magic, the part that feels like you have superpowers, is when you add a layer of intelligence. That's when you turn a simple workflow into something truly smart. Think about it like a food chain of automation. Okay, at the bottom, you've got your basic, rule-based stuff. If this happens, then do that. It's useful for sure, but it's super rigid. One level up, and this is the sweet spot, is AI automation. This is where your workflow can actually understand context, like figuring out if an email is positive or negative. And then at the very top, you have AI agents. These are the future, systems that can plan and execute complex goals all on their own. So here's the crucial difference. Traditional automation is brittle. It needs perfectly clean, predictable data. AI automation, on the other hand, is flexible. It can read the messy, unstructured text from a real human email, understand what it's actually about, and then decide what to do next. That is a massive leap forward.
And just to give you a quick peek at where this is all going, an AI agent takes this even further. It's not just a chatbot that can answer questions. It's a system you give a goal to, like plan my trip to Tokyo, and it figures out which tools it needs to use, like searching the web or booking a flight, to actually make it happen. It's really the pinnacle of all this tech.
Okay, enough theory. Let's look at what real people are actually doing with this stuff. Seriously, these are some of my absolute favorite examples I've seen from the NN community. You have to check this one out. Somebody built a fully automated meal planner for their family. Every week, it suggests recipes by looking at their favorite meals, checking their Google calendars to see who's going to be home for dinner, and it even checks a list of what's already in the freezer. Then it builds the shopping list. I mean, come on, that's a seriously smart home assistant. Or how about this for a business? Someone built a virtual assistant for their Airbnb rental.
So now it answers all the common guest questions 24/7. What's the Wi-Fi password? What time is checkout? It can even give recommendations for local restaurants. This frees up the host to focus on, actually running the business.
And these are just some genius personal productivity hacks. Imagine getting an AI-generated summary of your important email sent right to Slack so you don't have to read through everything, or having your to-do list for the day automatically posted for you each morning. This is all about taking back control of your own digital life.
So at this point, you're probably thinking, okay, this sounds incredible, but also maybe a little complicated. So let's just go ahead and address the elephant in the room. What about the learning curve?
This is the #1 question, right? Do I need to be some kind of programmer to do this? Is it going to take me forever to figure this out? And that's a totally valid concern.
I absolutely love this quote from a user who was in that exact spot. They said learning NN is 100% worth it because it teaches you the concepts of programming, how to think logically and solve problems, without ever forcing you to learn a complicated coding language. It's an investment in a whole new way of thinking.
So how do you actually get started? Well, the community has a pretty clear 4-step plan. First, find a real, small, annoying problem in your own life. Don't try to automate everything at once. Second, start by playing around with pre-built templates to see how they're put together. Third, watch some tutorials to see how other people build things. And fourth, and this is probably the most important tip of all, test every single node one at a time as you add it. That way you learn step by step and you never get overwhelmed. So that brings us to the end. You've seen the problem, you've seen the tool, and you've seen some of the incredible possibilities. The only question left is the one for you. Just think about that one repetitive, annoying digital task you have to do every single day. What if you never had to do it manually ever again? What will you build first?